Howdy. Welcome to my shop. My name's Ron and I'll be your host for the next 10 minutes or so. Being a fourth generation carpenter, wood is that's my language. It's my living, it's my hobby, it's my passion. One of those passions is making stocks. I've never had any formal training in this. I just wanted to put a piece of wood on a gun one day, and I seemed like that'd be a pretty unique challenge, so I tried it. And been going at it ever since, but honestly, I owe a lot of my success to my customers, my friends that have suggested this or that, different ways of doing it to produce a better outcome. And so I appreciate them. I owe them a great deal. The finish that I use was suggested by a friend of mine that owns a gun shop in Georgia, a guy named Dan. I've been friends with him for many years, and I owe him for that knowledge. So I don't suggest that my way is the only way. That's just not the case. I picked up my abilities to do this from watching other people and seeing other things and then figuring out how to do that. So it's a process. Some ways are better, cleaner, faster. They require less effort. On and on it goes. And I'm open to learning new and better ways. I'm always looking for that. My grandfather used to say, never let a day go by that you don't learn something. So when I do, I'll often look up, thanks Pop, because no matter how old you get, you still need to be learning new things. So come on in, see what's going on today. Today we have a 06 Winchester Gallery Gun. We're going to start on it. Somebody, bless their heart, put a bolt through the side of the stock, I guess to hold it together, keep from having to make a new stock. The forearm's got some cracks in it, just a couple. And one of the hoods up here was loose. I already fixed that, but I forgot to do a complete before picture. But we'll do a during and we'll do an after. Someone made this stock. This is not the factory stock. It's a little smaller. Someone put I don't know what that is, piece of a mud flap or something on there for a butt pad. This belongs to a friend of mine that walked behind his grandfather, I believe it was his grandfather, and hunted squirrels with an 06 Winchester. He's wanted one for many years. He finally found this one. We're going to see if we can restore it for him. Because everything goes from a center line, I've got a center line all the way around this stock. Now we're going to draw out some lines to mill out the top and bottom tank. Alright, I flattened the nose of this off because this is a flat. It has no recess in here. This tang is exactly a ½ inch on the bottom, front to back, and it's 10/1000ths bigger than a half at the front on the top than it is at the back. A ½ inch bit on my milling machine and cut this out front to back. That's convenient. So all I got to do is center up a ½ inch on this center mark here. So I'm going to take a half off of the total and divide what I have left over. 0.45 inches from each side. So then I need to come back from the front to right there is where I stop. I stop right there. It's pretty simple. A 1/2 inch straight out. It's got a little flare at the bottom that I'll have to cut out by hand, and it's got this little tiny flare out on top right there where it steps out. I'll have to just cut that out by hand. And I got an inlet for the spring. The main hammer spring sets in about a 1/16 on each side and comes back to right there. So side profile of this thing is going to look like that. So, we'll cut it out on the mill. Now if that's centered this way, I will have left 45 thousandths on both sides. Right there is 48, 482 actually, and right there is 435. So I'm 15 thousandths, 20 thousandths off. Alright, I'm shallow on the front, so I'm going to scoot it this way. 2 thousandths off total, that means 1 thousandth on each side. I'm pretty well in the middle of it. I've got to go down to this mark, and I'm not there yet, so I'm going to go ahead and lower it before I get started. And I still need to go down some. Now that was a swag, but that's going to have to work. Alright, to be able to put this thing back in the same place, I'm going to put me some marks on the corners. That way I can set it right back in the same slot it was in, pretty close. That's a little snug, but it fits very nicely. You can see how that goes in there. And the height is pretty close. Fairly close. Now I'm going to mill out the bottom. Now this spring, there's a trigger spring inside here. That thing right there. And it lays all the way down almost to that screw hole. I've got a mark here where it comes, where I start right there, where I start milling for it. It'd be nice if this spring was 3/8, 372. 375 is 3/8. I can live with that. That way I can just mill out a 3/8 channel starting right there. That thing curves, that spring curves like so. So I've got to start milling. It lays in there like that. I got to start milling at about an 1/8 inch deep, and as it comes out, I need to drop that bit down and accommodate that curve. And it comes out almost to the top. It only likes about 1/8 of an inch of coming all the way out the bottom of it there. I probably need to tighten it extra tight because of that. I've never had this thing sling a bit at me, but I probably don't want to do it tonight. It should still be in the middle. Center is center, no matter what size bit you got. I think I can live with that. I have to readjust my position mark. But that, for starters, is awfully close. Alright, I've taken all what I need to take out at the mill. And I really need to hand fit the rest of this, but probably not tonight, because I've learned over the years certain things you don't do when you're tired. I'm checking some measurements to see where I need to start with in the morning. I've got a height measurement in here, and I'm about 60 thousandths too thick right here so far, which is good. I can thin it down. Back here, I'm going to have to take some calipers and reach in there and measure how tall it is from mill to mill. Oh, 50 thousandths too thick. So all those things I need to take care of tomorrow. And I've got to widen this side for this flare here on the top tang. Where that flares out, I've got to widen some more. It's getting there. The biggest problem right now is it's too thick this way. It's trying to spread that. So I got to thin that down, and I got to figure out where to thin it down in the morning. But my clearance for my spring and my hammer and all that stuff is good. Good night. Well, thanks for choosing to spend your time here with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this program. I'll try to post a new segment each weekend. In addition, if you'd like to read about a stock that I made, and then it took a 20-foot free fall, click on the link at the bottom of this page. It's called The Broken Gun. It's a story I wrote a few years ago about my two boys. Sometimes life's hard and things get broken. Now and then we get a chance to fix them. I'm so grateful for the opportunity I had to repair this broken stock. It led to a restoration that I never could have imagined. As always, if you like this video, please click the like button and share this with your friends. Have a great day.